We're going to shift gears over here now from photo screen printing to handmade or hand-drawn screen printing, and this is really a simple, fairly basic technique, but basically what we're doing is we're going to paint on a water-soluble fluid that we're then going to coat the screen and then harden it up, and then we'll wash that water-soluble fluid out and it'll open up the holes in the stencil. So what I've done here is I've got kind of like, sometimes I like to call this a master drawing, or just a drawing that I'm going to kind of use as a template, so you can sketch something out. You can also freehand this if you want, and I've covered it with a piece of my frosted mylar, which comes in handy for this class constantly, right? So I'm going to put like probably, I don't know, 4 cards per corner here. I'm just going to try and get my screen up off of the surface of the this, because you'll see that the blue drawing fluid stuff kind of seeps through at a certain point. So I have a little bit of distance between this and my mylar underneath here, and the mylar basically just protects your master drawing. So if you don't do this, you're going to drip blue drawing fluid all over that master drawing, which may or may not be something that you want. I suspect you don't. So this blue stuff, we call it the blue stuff. It's the screen drawing fluid, and it's basically this blue kind of soap solution. I believe it's just kind of soap, but they used to use sugar kind of lifts as well for this sometimes. But if I get some of this blue drawing fluid out of here, like with a big old brush, you see that it looks kind of like blue Triscuit or something like that. And if I just paint this on like this, pretty much wherever I've put down the blue drawing fluid, that's going to wash out and become an open part of the stencil that I could print. So one way to look at it is everything that I'm doing here, I can, that's going to print in a different color. So whatever's blue will print in black or green or red or whatever colors you choose to use. I like to keep a little bit of water over here just to keep my brushes from, getting all gouged up and hardened up and everything. So I'm just going to dip a little bit of a smaller brush in here. So and if I wanted to use my master drawing as kind of a guide, I could just kind of get up here above the top of this, and there's a little bit of space, so it helps if you get up over the top, and I'll just kind of use this as a guide for the drawing, and I can kind of put together a little bit of a line drawing that goes along with this master drawing that I've got here. So it can kind of serve as your template. The thing to know, however, is that this is kind of a little bit more expressive. You can get really fine little detailed tiny little lines if you get a small brush, or even one of those pen quills. You can dip the pen quills into your brush. But the thing to know is that it's all, is the thicker that you deposit the blue drawing fluid on here, the more likely you are to actually get it washed off. Unlike a photo screen print, this is kind of a one-shot deal. If you spend 10 hours on this, you spend forever drawing this really beautiful drawing, then you screw up in the scoop coating stage, there's nothing anybody can do for you. It just sort of, it didn't work out. So a lot of times I'll tell students to use this just like for more expressive kinds of things that you want to sort of do a little bit more experimental. You want to get more of a painterly effect. Like you could even take a toothbrush like this one, and you can drip, you can splatter. So when we get this done, when we develop it, we'll see how it all works. But so you can splatter it if you want to. You can kind of move it around, however you want to do that. You can also go in there with a rag and like erase it. So one of the things I like to do sometimes is even just to take a piece of paper and crumple it up. So it's got kind of the crumply edges, and then I'll just dip it in the blue stuff and just kind of sponge it on there. So if you could even use a stamp if you wanted to. So you could dip a stamp into this and then kind of apply it on there. And it's great for making textures. It's great for making like expressive painting things. If you're going to do, again, a really detailed line drawing, it's probably better to do that on a piece of mylar and then expose that to the photo emulsion. So this would be, our additive process where we basically are drawing and adding where we want the marks to be, and then that's going to get developed. But you could also do something that is subtractive, where you're basically blocking out the screen. So you could start off by blocking off, the areas you wanted to keep white, print it, and then, clean the screen even and block out a little bit more. So those are all techniques that people have used over the years with screen printing to kind of work by hand or to work with a photo emulsion.
There's really no right or wrong way to do it. It's really a question of what you want to have happen with your particular artwork.